Learning programs are essentially a collection of learning resources that have been mapped to the skills, knowledge and behaviours needed to meet that program's learning requirements. There are multiple advantages to using learning programs in the assigning, tracking and reporting of learning. If you are in the business of apprenticeships, adult learning, assigning qualifications of any kind, or education, it is advisable to use learning programs for assigning learning to your population. In the table is a list of the learning programs available for assigning to your learners held within the system. Let me show you how these programs are defined. What I will do now is select one that I did earlier. In this case, it is an apprenticeship standard called Junior Journalist. We click on the link and it opens up the learning program with all the skills, knowledge and behaviours listed along with its constituent criteria. At the top of the screen we can press the Edit button to define details surrounding the program. Note that editing the duration time of the program will give you the option of pushing out the existing delivery time of anyone who's already been assigned the learning program. Some learning programs, such as apprenticeships, have funding requirements dependent upon the strict time window, so it is vital in many cases to strictly adhere to this window for the delivery of the training program. Right, if we now look at the learning outcomes again, if we were to select a criteria underneath each outcome, by clicking on this checkbox here, we can see a number of learning resources from the Learning Resource Library that have been mapped to this criteria. Now, a learning resource such as journalism tips could apply to a number of the criteria listed. That's not a problem. Any learning resource can be mapped to multiple learning criteria. This means that when any learner completes this learning resource, it is tracked against all of its constituent criteria. We can add any new learning resource by clicking on the Add Learning Resource button and assign any classroom-based course, e-learning, or YouTube video, etc. to the program. The whole program structure of outcomes and criteria under each outcome can be defined by adding and removing from the tree structure. See how the Edit and Delete buttons appear when you hover over each of the criteria. Once the entire program has been set up and all the default learning has been entered, then the learning program can be saved and added to the list of learning programs on the system. To roll out any of these programs to learners, click on the Assign Users link next to each program. Here you can see all the learners already assigned to the program. And add further users by searching on their name or email address. Once located, select the learner and then they are automatically assigned to the learning program. Other options allow you to export and import learning programs from eLearning W&B and other users of the system. For example, the company is putting together dozens of apprenticeship standards and constituent online learning for them for use within the system. These can be imported directly into the system by selecting the Import Program button. Also, you may want to form a new program based on the many features found in an existing one. You can clone programs and start defining the program based on the existing content. So that's how you can add and edit learning programs and assign them to learners. Should you need any further information, remember you can consult the manual using the link at the top right-hand corner of the screen.